Alright, so I did my PowerPoint presentation, or Prezi, I guess, on Saber Tooth Curriculum by Abner Peddiwell. I'll be honest, I picked Saber Tooth Curriculum because I really love the title and the cover of the book when we were given our book list. So let's go ahead and dive on in. So this book is sassy, satirical, well written. It's relevant after 70 years, it's short, to the point, and examines the educational system by looking at it through the eyes of cavemen, really. We examine the very beginnings of education. And if this sounds like a book that interests you, because it definitely got me, then you should journey to the past to start examining the issues that Peddiwell covers. So, do you want to travel back in time? This book is for you if you definitely want to travel back in time. Professor Peddiwell and his former student travel back in time to examine issues that have been long-lasting issues in our educational system. It's a really satirical approach, which I really liked. I'm a very sarcastic person, so when I saw these layers of satire, I was hooked. And honestly, there's illustrations, and it's such a good book, and it's just such an eye-opener to what has gone wrong and what continues to go wrong in our educational system. First, he talks about the use of antiquated teaching methods and teaching antiquated concepts to students. So in the book, they talk about fish catching and the evolution of fish catching and primary tasks to survive. But today, we still are teaching antiquated tasks that, as I was reading this, I could just think of things. And some things that we don't teach that maybe we should continue to teach, like penmanship. But a lot of people teach cursive still in 3rd and 4th grade, but really, with the use of computers, it's kind of an antiquated thing that maybe we don't need to learn. But Dr. Peddiwell goes ahead and he covers a lot of things that we still teach that really we probably shouldn't. And it may make you mad, it may make you think about things you may be teaching, but really, it's all about what the students should know. So I included this short YouTube video for you guys to watch, but for presentation's sake, I'm going to go ahead and skip it. And if you'd like to watch it, you can watch it later. So then he also talks about the resistance to change, how our educational system ebbs and flows, very conservative people, very liberal people, what's best for students. It's a problem we see a lot today. We're still seeing it even with Common Core. Many people are resistant to it. Some people are very pro-Common Core. Some of us fall in the middle, but it's just an issue that's always plagued our life. And if you'd like to read about it and really think about what's best for the students, this book is definitely for you. So I put this picture, and it's definitely an indication of how people can be resistant to change. I thought it was really funny, and I thought it illustrated the point that when people are asked to change, they really don't want to. Even people who are comfortable with change in other subjects may not be comfortable with change in education, because we're messing with children's futures. The next topic he talks about is who really decides the curriculum. Who's in charge of what our students learn? Does it start at our federal level? Does it go all the way down to our districts and the individual schools? In reality, he talks about how we have to teach for colleges. We have to teach for the tests. We have to teach for our students to be prepared to go to college. But is college for everyone? And these are valid questions, and questions I ask myself all the time. We don't have a lot of vocational programs anymore. They tend to be the first thing that gets cut. But really, college isn't for everyone. So if we teach to a test, are we really preparing our students for their future? Definitely perplexed me. The next issue he talks about is unions. And unions is a sensitive topic. A lot of people are very pro-union. A lot of people are against unions. But they do play a big role in our educational system, regardless of how you feel. And I don't have my own classroom yet. I'm still working on my credential, so I don't really have a strong opinion on this one. I haven't seen it in action, but I do know no matter what happens, we need to prepare our children, and Dr. Peddiwell does a good job at kind of staying neutral, but opening your eyes to how unions can affect what our students learn, how our teachers teach, the control in the classroom. And I included this graphic about unions, and a lot of people, this is about government unions and stuff like that. I didn't find very good teacher union things that I wanted to include in this program, but it's just, there's always something lurking on the other side that not everyone's aware of. Then he focuses on jobs. Not just teaching jobs, but jobs all over. How, at the end of the day, we all need one. Students included. They might not be thinking about their jobs, but we should, because they're going to take care of us one day, and we want to prepare them to live in this real world. And Dr. Peddiwell asked the question, do we do that? And really, you have to read the book to find out what he thinks. I think we're getting there. I think there's a lot of next generation science skills. Common Core is getting there. 21st century skills. That's all things we need to teach our students about. And I think we're getting there. But you can see what Dr. Peddiwell thinks millions of years, or not millions, I guess, 70 years ago. I think millions because it's put in caveman time. But 70 years ago, we still had these issues. And so I included another YouTube video for you to watch about if we're really preparing our students for the future. The book closes with change, and change is inevitable. We talked about it before, how people are resistant to it, but is it possible? Like, the way our education system is laid out, is change really possible? And the answer is yes, but it's difficult. It takes a long time. It takes generations of trial and error, which he thinks is one of the bigger issues, is that we implement things and then 5 years later drop them, and children are learning differently. But it's all things that are necessary. And here's a TED Talk that I thought was really, really interesting. It's 20 minutes, so if you have time, watch it. But it's about changes in our educational system, and this guy does a really great job of letting us know exactly what it's like. So how can we solve these problems that Dr. Peddiwell brings up? Actually, many of the concepts that we have right now that we are learning about in this class can solve a lot of these problems. Backwards design, making content meaningful, making it essential, authentic assessments, teaching to diverse cultures, validity of tests. Do they actually measure what they're measuring? This all is stuff that can change our educational system for the better. And I have another YouTube video. I obviously like YouTube. If you haven't noticed, my discussions have YouTube, and I just think these are great videos. This one happens to be on backwards design, and something we've seen before many times, but just to emphasize how important it is. And I also looked at essential questions. Like, if we use essential questions and bigger ideas to plan lesson plans, we're going to reach more students. We're going to prepare them for the real world. We're going to give them complex situations they're not just going to choose C from our discussion a week ago. So is this book for you? It depends. Do you want to design meaningful lessons? Do you want to engage students? Do you want to prepare your students for the real world? If you do, this book is for you. If you love cavemen, saber-toothed tigers, hunting, and just a really satirical view of the education system from 70 years ago, but it's still relevant today, then this book is definitely for you. And I closed my PowerPoint with, or my Prezi with a Powtoon, which I love. I love using these in my classroom. But a Powtoon about the book. So if you want to know more, something I couldn't cover in the 9 minutes that this presentation is, because I know we all have a busy life, then please watch this YouTube video. It's absolutely spectacular. And that's my presentation. I absolutely love this book, and I hope it's something that you'll pick up. I know my presentation only covered the key points that I thought were relevant, but I hope it's something you find that you'll enjoy. I've viewed many of your PowerPoints, and I absolutely love them, and I would like to get these other 2 books. So thank you very much for viewing my PowerPoint, and I hope that you enjoyed it.